Good evening, everyone, and thank you for attending the fifth edition of our International Mentoring Program. Today's edition, we will be talking to two representatives from Zambon. Unfortunately, the entrepreneur that was scheduled to talk, Elena Zambon, for personal reasons, very important personal reasons, could not be here with us this evening. But that doesn't, we have two extraordinary and exemplary representatives of the company, and we'll be speaking about the same topics that we were planning on speaking about with Ms. Zambon. As we know, Zambon is a multinational family company present in 87 countries with over 3,000 employees. It's a pharmaceutical company, and Mariapaola and Federica will be telling us a little bit more about the company. But what's so interesting is it's family-owned and family-run, but it's been able to expand into 87 countries. So it's a true success story from an Italian standpoint. And we're happy to have with us two representatives of the company. Here today with us are Mariapaola Biasi. She is head of corporate heritage and culture, and Federica Alberti, who is head of corporate affairs. So our theme today is innovation and care, a formula for business success. So let's go right into the history of the company, if we could. Mariapaola, tell us a little bit about how the company started and where it is today.
Sure. Thank you. I'm very pleased to be here this evening. Thank you for this invitation. First of all, I would like to say that Elena Zambon sends her apologies for not being here today, because she actually would have loved to participate. She is deeply convinced about the importance of exchanging experiences among entrepreneurs. But anyway, both myself and Federica, we will try to do our best to transfer points of view. First of all, as you were already telling who we are, Zambon is a modern healthcare company that operates in the pharmaceutical and chemical business. As many of you know, the pharmaceutical sector is a very specific and a regulated sector with a strong international dimension. It's a very sophisticated sector with knowledge companies continuously challenged by innovation. Our mission is innovating cure and care to make patients' lives better. So very close to our title today. Innovation and quality in terms of competencies and medicines are the main drivers for us. Above all, we have to innovate in order to answer our patients' expectation. In fact, we have the bigger responsibility of taking care of people's health. Tracing very shortly our history, the company was established in 1906. So 115 years. In also 16 actually in November, but the company was founded in Vicenza, that is close to Venice, just to understand, by Gaetano Zambon. In 1920, the company transformed from commercial to industrial, starting to produce ampoules of camphor, calcium gluconate and glucose. And since the 50s, the company has been developing internationally, which implies accepting new challenges, increasing complex challenges every day. In 1956, the first production plant abroad was inaugurated in Brazil. And from that moment, Zambon's expansion has always grown over the years. Now the company, as you mentioned, is directly present in 3 different continents: Europe, America, Asia, with 23 branches and around 3,000 employees. We have production units in Italy, in Switzerland, in France, China, and Brazil. and our products are marketed in 87 countries. In 2020, the group's revenues amounted to around 700 million. We are active in several areas: pain, disease of the respiratory system, disease of the urological system, Parkinson's disease, cystic fibrosis, bronchiolitis obliterans syndrome, and non-cystic fibrosis bronchiectasis. We used to say that we produce high quality products. We are very convinced about this, thanks to the management of the whole production chain, which involves Zambon Chemicals. It is our privileged partner for API, active pharmaceutical ingredients, for custom synthesis and the generic products. But recognizing the ever-growing importance of innovative technologies and the digitalization of healthcare, Zambon complements the offering of medicine with modern health solutions. Finally, Zambon today is headquartered in Milan, within a campus, open zone, a scientific campus where knowledge is shared between partners in the field of healthcare. The campus was founded with the aim of transform research into enterprise. So I hope this is a short but complete overview of our company.
But let me correct you just from one issue. You skipped over a very important event, you know. And today, one of the buzzwords that we hear all the time is resilience, you know, coming through COVID, coming through difficult times. Yeah. But Zambon had its difficult moments, one in particular. Could you talk to us a little bit about that?
Sorry, I didn't hear.
Zambon had its difficult moments during World War II. Could you tell us about how you came back from that? You know.
Yeah, you are mentioning an episode from our history that is particularly dear to us for several reasons that I will explain, but also, of course, a reminder of a moment of great difficulty. And today, in these weeks, we feel very close to that moment again, unfortunately. On that occasion, there was a bombing during the Second World War in 1944. I'm sorry, the plant was totally destroyed, and very luckily it was a Sunday, so we didn't have any victim, but the building and everything was destroyed. All the workers on that occasion, like really a large family, gathered around the company to rebuild it in a couple of years during the war and just after the end. And I think that this did not happen by chance, but it comes directly from our idea of company. The founder, Gaetano Zambon, wrote in his in a document that we call Moral Testament. I read because I want to be precise. In economically free society, such as capitalistic society, can only be morally acceptable if private wealth becomes fraternity through good works and collective well-being through the creation of means of production, real improvements, work and life possibility for other men. Every honest entrepreneur behaves this way. Wow. Yeah, this is a really an important message for all of us working in Zambon, because Gaetano told that the company must be seen as a collective good, a place of sharing, and to which one contributes, and which, thanks to its identity is open to the outside world. I think this is because,
Beautiful.
yeah,
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful.
yeah, it's
And
very
that,
interesting.
if I
And
could,
I think
yeah,
this is because actually family business have a precise strategic direction, which is given by the longer time horizon they have. They
right.
think for generation. Profit
Mhm.
is never the end. It is actually a tool. Uh,
Beautiful.
yeah, I
No,
think that,
that's, you're saying some very profound things. So let's stay
yeah,
on that topic and get
yeah, sure.
Federica involved as well, because when we say profit is not the goal, but it's a
Yeah,
tool, and that the company has a mission in society and a
yeah,
mission toward the people who collaborate with it. That's something. Those are profound concepts and very
yeah.
much what we're talking about today when we talk about sustainability, or Federica, doing good by doing well, or doing well. So let's go into that just a little bit more. If you could talk about sustainability, the company's policies in sustainability, and also, you know, from my perspective, a pharmaceutical company has that in its very nature, is that they're
Right.
doing well by doing good.
Exactly. I agree completely. And thank you for this question. I'm very glad to be here too. So as you said, in our industry, I mean, we have in our nature the doing well for doing by doing good, and we have this strong responsibility. We feel very strong the responsibility to take care of people or patients and to take care of people's health. And so this is the purpose actually driving all of us during the years. And when we speak about sustainability, I think being sustainable for us means having in front of us other 115 years to serve our mission to take care of patients and to innovate, cure, and care to make patients' lives better. So this is really something guiding all of us. Of course, it's not always easy. But being a family company, you really think in terms of generations and not in terms of quarters. You have a long-term view. And this is very important in all the decisions that we are making. Of course, we have to balance short-term and long-term, because we need to have a practical, let's say, daily approach, making the right decision, but never losing the long-term horizon. So thinking and trying to keep and maintain the long-term investments that we made. As you know, in the pharma sector, to develop a new product, it requires a very long process, a risky process also, and it needs very huge investments. So you need to have the freedom to decide if and when to stop a project, because maybe you feel that it's not going into the right direction, but never losing anyway the long-term horizon, not sacrificing these long-term investments for the sake of short-term results. This is very important, and I think, as you said, that our mission is really something that is shared among the people working in the company, and of course it's easier to share a purpose that is serving patients and finding new solutions for patients. We inherited it from our founder 116 years ago, and we continue to feel the same currently right now.
Let's, Federica, if I could look up on that point, because first it's concrete, the example of the company employees coming together in a time of company crisis, and the fruit of the culture that you created within the company that was such that everybody felt like they were owners of the company. They weren't simply employees, and that's what helped you to overcome a crisis. And
Yes.
big crisis or little crisis, if that exists within a company, and that, if we use the word care, even in that sense of the employees feeling part of the mission, I think is really interesting.
Yeah, actually,
The
if I
other thing
may
that,
intervene just
please,
a minute,
yes,
Elena always tell us that all of us, we have to be entrepreneur on our,
exactly, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
exactly. And so
And
this is our way to manage everything, but from
exactly,
at every level of the company.
beautiful.
And this is
And so
interesting.
yeah, and let's develop that point, because also in terms of innovation, you use is that the right, but you utilize the passion, the energy, the creativity of young people. So Federica,
Yeah.
maybe tell us about that, how that the innovation and the insertion of young people into the company come together.
Yes, sure. So we of course value talents because this is a really important source of also of innovation. We have a specific program which is called Zeta Gen, Z generation, for a new generation, which is going to select a number of new graduates in a selected business in our headquarters, but providing them a customized development plan for more than 1 year, giving them the possibility to see different part of the company and understanding the business very well. So this is something that we are doing for a lot of years now. But apart from that, which is a very specific program, we take care of people at 360 degrees every day. First of all, we designed the spaces of our offices in a way to facilitate collaboration, cross-functional collaboration, and to foster also collaboration, and also to facilitate the meetings, informal and formal meetings, because we believe that sharing knowledge is a way to encourage innovation as well, and it is very important for young people too. Living in a campus, as Mariapaola said, is another important aspect for young people, but not only for young people, because you have the possibility to share knowledge also among other companies. Now, our campus is hosting 34 companies. Some of them are part of the group, some of them are part of Zambon group, but most of them are not. So, but they all share the responsibility of working in the health sector, and they are all very committed to research and innovation. So you can imagine
No,
that.
Federica, and see, for our entrepreneurs who are listening to us, that's a beautiful example, because what you're saying is gather together with other people who are also innovating, gather together with other people and create not only a company culture, but like you said, a campus,
Yes.
or a cluster of like businesses where you're going to be able to share resources, you're going to be able to share ideas. It becomes very fertile kind of ground. And along that same line, you guys have done something with startups, right? I mean, use a program called Z Cube. So tell us
Yes.
about that.
This is another visionary project that Elena actually inaugurated at the beginning of year 2000, because we realized that the progress was so fast in terms of scientific developments, innovation, technology, that no matter how much you invest in your research and development, but you need to be open. You need to be open and catch possibility of innovation also from other fields. Our vision, Mariapaola said before, is innovating cure and care. Cure is the traditional, let's say, the traditional therapies, but care means taking care of people, especially for chronic diseases, on a daily basis, also thanks to the new technologies. So when we realized this important aspect, another entity was founded, which is ZCube, Zambon Research Venture, which was created for the purpose of identifying and developing new ideas also from outside, especially from outside at global level. And in order to do that, we also launched an open accelerator, an acceleration program, which was called Open Accelerator. We had 4 editions so far. So a formal program in order to identify new modern solution, helping to take care of patients, especially for chronic diseases. And in this program, in the 4 editions that we had, we collected more than 200 projects. We selected 36 startups from all over the world, and we invited them to take part on this program, on this acceleration program, 4 weeks acceleration program specific for life science. After the program, we awarded the most promising projects for with an investment, a seed investment up to 100,000 euro. And up to now, we provided this investment to nine startups. In some of them, then we decided also to invest, and we are part now of the stakes of some startups. And we involved also the community of the campus in this project, because we thought that it was very important to offer these startuppers the possibility to share knowledge among mentors that are maybe part of other companies, serial entrepreneurs that are in our campus, investors, just to collect ideas and to grow their competencies. Because the seed we realized that the seed investment is very important, but most of all, these new companies needed experiences and competencies.
So Mariapaola, this is a sign that the established companies are not afraid of the startups. But
yeah, sure.
You as Zambon, tell us about, there's a level of courage here involved in this.
Yeah, I think there's a big level of courage to exit the comfort zone and to look all around. But I think that every company has its own cultural identity. You know, I report everything to my competencies, as you know, but I think that this identity is something linked with the territory and its characteristics. For Zambon, this identity starts from the inspirational breath. You know, again, Gaetano Zambon several decades ago wrote, "Try to preserve in the company the breath of inspiration, which in himself is something profoundly spiritual, and in which I believe lies in part the key to all our successes." Ecco, so following his suggestion, the Zambon family wants to continuously renovate and preserve the spirit of innovation. This is actually the core of our identity. The breath of inspiration became breath of innovation. That is something very concrete. That means facing daily challenges to reinvent and constantly innovate the company, which we consider a 115 years startup. We think of ourselves, yeah, yeah, actually. But Elena always says this because she deeply think, yeah, innovation in this way is part of our DNA, together with the ability of creating strong bridges between tradition and future. And this is why today we are here together, myself and Federica. We represent these two souls in our office.
And this shows in something you have, what you call an open organizational model. Can you talk a little bit more about that? Because again, that shows a level of courage to say we've never arrived. We're always looking to do something better. So
Elena believes, and I agree deeply with her, that open is the key word of our era. And I don't think that what we are experiencing in these years, COVID before and now Ukraine, the wars, will change this great opportunity that we have. actually we must be open, both in research, in alliances, in all our relations. What is an open company? Being an open business, it means becoming strong, also thanks to the others. Is a other-centric logic. I don't know if this word exists, but I hope you understand what I mean.
Yes, other-centric.
Okay. And we are convinced that the progress comes from meeting and exchange. But all this must necessarily be based on trust. Trust is another key word, because you have to trust the skills of other people, but also the relationship that you are able to build with them. The open business has the ability to experiment, even taking inspiration from other people and events. You need to have a mindset open to innovation, always open. And in an open company, the normal logic is in some way overturned, because first of all comes the why, the purpose that underlines everything.
Purpose.
Then you can reason on how. How means look at people, skills, the need or the opportunity to work together. And just at the end, you can reason about the what, that is the product, the service. And this must be consistent and answer again to the fundamental question: why are we doing this? And this is why we must try to read the present and being receptive in every moment. We have to stay curious and attentive to what is happening around us. Another thing is
Federica, go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, just one more. I think it's the sense is that you have to learn. You have to learn to work by project. That is not project management, but agile management, if I can think of. So you have to work reinventing the processes, or even the business model, if the situation requires.
That's why maybe if I can add something that very recently in a meeting to all employees, we said that actually it's important. Elena said that it's important to go beyond resilience.
Yeah, sure.
Go beyond resilience because it's important. We also said that probably the new normal will be an ever normal, because the recent crisis, unfortunately, is showing us. Yeah. And that's why it's very important now to have new competencies like responsiveness, like the openness to the unthinkable, and the capacity to reinvent what you are doing also on a daily basis. Because maybe you get something better, you get something closer to shorter in time. I mean, we don't have to do one thing just because we have always done it in the same way.
Exactly.
It was really important for all of us to have this model.
Okay. And Federica, let's just take that step that out just a little bit further, because one of the things that challenges companies, it's both an opportunity but a challenge, is the way the digital technologies are changing so quickly, right? And are opening new frontiers, but are also creating issues, for pharmaceutical company with the questions of privacy and those kind of things. Tell us how you incorporate this digital explosion in the company.
Mm-hmm. Well, first of all, in terms of education, some years ago, we decided to launch a digital school. This was very important because it's a way to involve all the employees in all the company, in the group companies on the importance of digital. We are strongly believing that everything that may be digital will be digital shortly. So it's better it's better to get prepared. And as you said, it's not easy because it's a completely new paradigm. But we tried, for example, first of all, with the Open Accelerator. So the 4th edition in 2020 was fully dedicated to digital solutions. And within Zambon Research Venture, we also founded our own startup, which is called CareApt, with the mission of developing solution to transform the care of chronic diseases in a real experience for patients and also for the caregivers. And the first solution that was developed by CareApt is called Parkinson Care, and it's especially designed for people with Parkinson disease and with for their caregivers. And here the difficult part was to combine the opportunities given by the technology solutions with the human touch provided by specialized nurses, because we believe that the technology solutions can arrive at one point, but the human touch given by a person can help a lot, especially in these chronic diseases. So the combination of these two parts is the most difficult, combination, but it's the one making the difference. And now the team of CareApt is developing a second solution, which is the Media Care, addressing the dementia disease, which is much, unfortunately, it's much wider than Parkinson. But we leverage now on the experience of Parkinson care, and we learned a lot in these 2 years. And also we decided in 2020, when the pandemic exploded, to provide the service of Parkinson care as free of charge in Italy, as a solidarity initiative. And this was really an experience, a very good experience, talking about doing well by doing good. It was an extremely positive experience, because more than 700 patients in Italy decided to use this solution, this digital solution supported by specialized nurses, also to ask for support for daily issues, symptoms, problems that they had on a daily basis. And this prevented them from going to the hospital in that critical month where going out from home was really a danger, especially for people over 65 years old. And only 20 people out of these 700 people had the necessity to go to the hospital because for different reasons, but 20 out of 700. And this explained very clearly the potential of digital technologies in supporting especially chronic diseases. So we are continuing this way. As you said, it's not easy. It's not easy also because it's not easy to find the right support from the regulators also, because sometimes we are even going faster than regulations. Of course, there are privacy issues, but for example, in this case, the solutions are fully GDPR compliant, so they fully aligned with the European normative in place, and it's also cultural transition, which will take time, but in our opinion will not stop, because it's the only way probably to make the health accessible and sustainable over time.
Beautiful. Okay. Very good. Now, so we're reaching the end now. So I just want to take a few questions from our entrepreneurs who are listening in. And I know you guys are a little bit hesitant to talk about this, but there are many questions coming in about your customers, okay, and about your customer base and how you respond to their needs and how you're sensitive to their needs. Mariapaola, maybe you could give us some examples from the past of how you looked at at the patient and the patient's rights and issues that have to do with developing new products, but also respect for the patients and care for the patients?
Actually, this is because I'm really not able to answer because you know, we are in a sector very regulated, so we don't have a real relationship with the customers, because part of them are mediated by the public sector, because medicines are paid actually by our health service.
Sure.
And we cannot, for example, make direct advertising on our product.
No, exactly. Yeah.
So we are very attentive and very serious in our clinical studies.
Okay.
We engage patients with very carefully, and we respect a very severe path regarding the development of a new product. We are actually now developing a couple of, actually more than a couple of studies, in particular on the BOS and the bronchiectasis that I was telling about at the beginning. There's a very, very long procedure, very regulated. But what I think that makes the difference in our way to conduct those studies is a particular attention to the patient. Federica was talking about human touch. And human touch is actually the way we look to the others, is a way to enable the others. So we want to hear from our patients not only what they feel with the medicine, but also all the thing that is around. And for example, we have a particular attention also to the caregivers. So not only the patient, I think of Parkinson disease, for example. So not only the patients and their reaction to our medicines, but also the way the caregivers live with them and live also the disease. If I can
yes.
I want to tell you a particular experience I personally I'm doing, because I'm also the Secretary General of our foundation. We have a foundation, and we are developing with the foundation a project that is called Home Care Design for Parkinson's Disease. We are defining the guidelines for projecting, designing the house of people with Parkinson's disease, not just because it is useful for them, but it should be pleasant also for the caregivers. So it's actually a totally different way to look at the person and at the family that live with the person. I don't know if I was able to answer to your question, but this is my point of view.
Okay. And let's close, Federica, I'll give you the last question. It comes from Ethiopia, and it's going right to the heart of the matter. It's from a pharmaceutical wholesaler, and they're wondering, would you be interested in coming to Ethiopia? And what do you think about Africa in terms of the company?
Okay, so Zambon actually as Mariapaola said, is present in 23 countries, but commercialize its products in 87 countries through distributors, and this is true also for Africa. We will pass this comment to a colleague of us looking after the rest of the world, let's say, and especially the distributor sector, because they may be interested, and if you want to share with us the contacts, we will make sure that they get in contact.
Okay,
for sure. And actually, with regard to Africa, I mentioned before the acceleration program, we had the participants from Cameroon in the 3rd edition.
Ah, okay.
Yes, a guy from Cameroon who developed a solution to diagnose the respiratory diseases through an app. And actually, we were so we appreciated a lot his passion and also his motivation. So we decided to grant him an award because we wanted to award his commitment. The solution was called Diagnose.
Beautiful. Okay. Well, thank you very much. I think we cannot but be impressed with Zambon, with the company culture, the company heritage, and the way you're conducting your business. There's a true lessons here, both from innovation, but as you were talking, long-term sustainability. I think you found the key to be able to impact the community where you sell your products and where you manufacture your products, and also sustain over time this impact. So thank you very much, Federica Alberti. Thank you very much, Mariapaola Biasi.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure.
Any further questions that come in, we'll send them to you online.
Great.
Okay?
We will be happy of this. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and
Bye-bye.
congratulations for organizing this meeting.